Welcome to ZapCast, the first entertainment-based podcast in the depths of space. I'm your host, Sparky. We got our second command, Spur.
Hi.
And we got our ship mechanic, Crimson.
Yo.
Crimmy.
Crimby Bimble.
Scrumalumptious Crimmy.
Crimp Pimble. I don't know.
So, before we begin, I just wanted to say we have a new format. We are going to be uploading twice a month. One episode per every other week. So probably the first week and then the third week. It's better for us that we have a bit time to ourselves and also more time to edit.
And some personal schedule changes as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of unexpected stuff has been happening. So we just want to make it better for ourselves to find an easier time to get together and talk. We'll also have time to relax and also have time to make sure that we bring out a product in a way that is both satisfying, that we feel like it's satisfying to us and also satisfying for the viewers. The last episode we did was our shortest upload yet because it's just there was a lot of stuff I wasn't satisfied with in the episode that I had to cut out, and it's just, I feel like giving more time for us to get together means that we have more time to brainstorm, and I feel like that we can probably make better episodes that way than having to do it every week. So, first thing I wanted to talk about was a lot of game releases, announcements have been coming out. First off, Castle Crashers Remastered and Cuphead are coming to Nintendo Switch and PS4. I know that it's already on PS4. I think it's already on PS4, Cuphead, but it's coming to Switch. And that means that more multiplayer games, which is fun, and they're also really good games at that. Crimson can go in depth about how much he loves Cuphead.
Oh, hell yeah. Actually, the only systems that Cuphead is not on right now actually is the PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Xbox.
I thought it was.
No, well, initially Studio MDHR, I believe, had like a deal with Microsoft. So it was only released on PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
And then it was then released on Mac, of course. And now finally they're releasing it to the Switch. So the only big name, apart from Linux, that doesn't have Cuphead is Sony. So.
Is it coming to PlayStation at all? Because I could have swore it was on PlayStation. I guess it's not.
I'm not entirely sure.
We'll have to check that later. So Castle Crashers started on the Xbox Live Marketplace for the 360. Then it got put onto PC. And it was also put onto PlayStation 3. However, the PC version is the most up-to-date version. It has got rid of all you can quaff, which was like this ED minigame with multiplayer. They got rid of that and they put in what's called Backup Barbarian. They updated the graphics slightly, and I think they added like a couple new weapons. So the PS4 version and the Switch version are coming out. There are the PC updated version, which is called Remastered, and they're putting that finally to PlayStation 4 and Switch. So it's going to have Backup Barbarian, updated graphics. I probably the DLC's packed in with it. If so, that's going to be amazing. So I can finally play as the Blacksmith and the Pink Knight. I think that's all that's added. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. It's been a while since I played Castle Crashers, but I remember it was so fun to play with Spur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a run with Beekeeper and Fencer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah, and I just had my Beekeeper and Magic for the amount of bees that had come out, but yeah. So, Devil May Cry 5. Man, I've been waiting for this title for a long time. It came out March 8th, and and I've been wanting to talk about this while, but I either forget or I just don't really feel like it should be brought up. But I will say it is one of the best games of 2019 so far, and it's actually gotten many, many, many good reviews, and it was worth the 11-year wait. Like it's a really good game. It's up there with Devil May Cry 3 in terms of the best in the series. It fixes so many problems that the other games had. It reinvents new things that actually make it replayable and fun. It's a good story, good characters. They made Nero a great character before he was kind of like a cardboard cutout in a way. It was kind of like, oh, it's Dante Diet, Diet Dante.
Diet Dr. Dante.
But in 5, I like him as much as I do Dante. Like, he's really fun to play as. Each character stands out in their own way. V is so cool. Like, he is so fun. He has basically he stands in the back of the combat while he has his little familiars do the fighting for him, and then he has to finish the enemies off. It's so cool. I think it's a good way to end the series too. It left off on a good note, and they could just stop the games right there. It's a good end. If they want to make more, that's fine. But I think it's like a good ending note, and I think that it's a great way to bring like the fan base together. I had a lot of friends play the game. A couple of them have never played Devil May Cry game before, or they've had like little experience with them. One of them has only played Devil May Cry 4, and they beat that. And another one has never even touched a Devil May Cry game before, and which is it's a bit iffy because there's a lot of references to the other games in 5, but they both said it's a really good game. They both said they had a lot of fun. And I can recommend it to anyone, both casual or serious players, because it's nice because the game balances out perfectly between newcomers and returning veteran players, and I think it's just a good balance of difficulty. Like the default difficulty, Devil Hunter, is like a really good introduction to the series. There's in-game tutorials. There's a training mode where you can train against enemies and tone up your skills. Tons of different skills you can buy, each do different things, and it's really fun to do combos, and I just think that Capcom has really redeemed themselves lately. They returned Mega Man, they brought back Resident Evil, and Devil May Cry 5. It's just a good game, and I'm really hoping to see what they're going to do next, with their properties. So that's all I really want to say about Devil May Cry 5. If you guys want to add anything.
Well, I'd say that it's really exciting to hear that it is such a good game.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of times, video games. Well, I should say a lot of times, but you do have those times where prominent video games get hyped up and they end up being extremely disappointing.
Let me read you off these review scores. Steam, 9 out of 10. Metacritic, 87%. IGN.com, 9.5 out of 10. Staff pick. Google users, 98% liked this video game. Crunchyroll says, Devil May Cry 5 is back with amazing smoking sexy style gameplay. Eurogamer with Devil May Cry 5 has already overtaken the reboot in sales. Guess how many copies DMC5 has sold in under 2 weeks?
What was it? 2 million?
Yes.
That's really impressive for a game in its first 2 weeks.
To get a better idea, Devil May Cry 4 was the best-selling Devil May Cry game in 2008, with 3 million copies. But that was over time. Devil May Cry 2 sold 2 million copies. Devil May Cry 5 sold 2 million copies in under 2 weeks. And in Resident Evil 2, the remake that came out in January, sold 4 million copies in under a month.
People are really nostalgic for these games, I guess. Then
It's
both. I think it's both nostalgia and introducing, new players to these games. So I think it's a good combination of both things coming together. And like, you had a couple of your friends play it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if other fans of the DMC series had their friends try it and their friends, oh wow, I really like this game. Then they themselves purchased it.
What do you guys feel about the Epic launcher, like taking like a bunch of exclusives?
I mean, the Epic Games launcher isn't bad. I mean, I got, what was it, Subnautica for free through the Epic Games launcher.
I play I guess you could say I play a good deal of Fortnite. Don't put my art on screen. But yeah.
I don't really know how I feel about it. I kind of feel like I felt really bad about the people who pre-ordered the new Metro game, and they got it for they pre-ordered on Steam, but then everyone's like, yeah, we'll take that game from you guys, and only the people who pre-ordered it on Steam were able to get to play it on Steam.
Ouch.
Yeah. There's actually physical copies of the game for PC. Where there's it has little system requirements on the back, and if you can peel off where it says the Epic logo, and you peel it off and it says Steam. It's just.
Oh yeah, you sent me that. Yeah, you sent me.
Yeah.
It's like.
Oh, it was like, dude. It got
reminded me of the time when my parents they got me this one tablet.
Mm-hmm.
One Christmas, and it was old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were getting an art tablet because they wanted to be nice because they thought I had this tablet I've had for a couple years, so they decided to get a new one. But this one just looked old and everything. There was this sticker logo on it, and if you took off the sticker, I go to the website for that had the company that had the sticker on the top, and they were selling this thing with a bunch of other things, and then if you lift up the sticker, it was another company name. But if you go to that company's thing, that product, that specific tablet, they don't sell it anymore.
So
that's amazing.
It's like
so I was like, wow, this is funny, actually.
So it's like, you buy this fucking
yeah, that's what I thought of when I saw the Epic Games thing with Steam. It's like, wow.
Yeah, the Epic Games taking the new Metro game was 2 weeks before the game was released. So they had to take every physical physical PC version of the game and replace the Steam sticker, a Steam logo, with an Epic Games sticker.
Yeah, you see, I'd be fine with it having exclusives if it was just announced with it just originally being an exclusive to Epic. That'd be fine. Not with the Metro thing. It's 2 weeks. Oh, by the way, let's go to Epic instead, and just ruin everything and make it really confusing.
So
for everybody.
There's this game I really want to get for PlayStation. It was announced 2 years ago. It's called Control. Basically, the premise of the game is, from what I remember, is you're this agent who gets trapped in this building where the inside interior changes. It's never the same. Gravity becomes loose. You can distort your surroundings. You can lift stuff with your with telekinesis and stuff like that. One of the things that I saw that you could do in the game that's really cool, the main character can make a gun out of particles bound from the air, and you can shoot people and freeze time and shit. It looks so fun. And there wasn't a release date set, so I'm like, is it going to come anytime soon? Release date finally got announced, which is pretty nice. Pretty close to my birthday too. But the first news I heard about it recently coming out was it was going to be Epic Games exclusive, and I'm like, oh, please tell me they're still putting it on console, and they are. But I was so fearful that they weren't going to put it on console. That one game that people are excited for, The Outer Worlds or something like that, the Fallout-inspired game.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be an Epic Games exclusive, and that tore people off from getting interested in the game. It's kind of funny, and also kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's so many different options for PC launchers. Like Discord has its own game library with exclusives. Steam,
I have
like the OG.
There's still that one game we all got for free that we should play at some point.
We should. Did you, Crimson?
King of the Hat.
King of the Hat. Did you get it when it was free?
I think so. I'm not.
Need to play that. If you did, we should find some time to play that together.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it since I got it for free. Like I haven't even installed
I haven't
it.
touched it.
I just claimed it.
I installed it thinking that if you didn't install it, it wouldn't be free. Like you wouldn't have it. So I installed it. But I think we can all agree that Steam and Epic, you know, are the ones that people are divided about. Discord, no one I've heard it really cares about it. But Origin and Uplay are like the worst.
The only reason why I have Origin is because of The Sims 4. That's it. If EA like put all of their games on Steam, then I'd uninstall Origin. Just being completely honest.
We're gonna take a quick break. While we're away, here is Pandora's title theme by Rob Hubbard for the C64. Enjoy. Welcome back to ZapCast. That was the main thing to Pandora on the C64. Have you guys seen any movies in theaters recently?
I have not, because any days off that I have, I'm usually sleeping and staying home because I don't want to go anywhere.
What about you, Spur? Have you seen any movies in theaters?
Not in theaters, no.
Okay. Have you guys seen any? Have you guys seen
What?
any movies on TV or something at least?
Yeah, the other day I watched Mary Poppins Returns with my family. It was really nice.
Oh, I mean Annie McPhee? I'm kidding.
Bitch. Listen
Alright.
here, you asshat.
I saw Captain Marvel in theaters, and let me tell you, it's not that good. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like sexist or anything when I say, because I'm a guy speaking, but theoretically speaking, Wonder Woman was a way better movie than this was. I mean, I will be fair, and I will say that Captain Marvel was way better than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a total flop. But it just does not... I've only seen... Okay, I'm being biased here because I haven't really seen many cinematic universe movies by Marvel. I've only seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I've seen the first Captain America, I've seen the second Captain America, and I've seen, I think Iron Man... No, I haven't even seen that.
Oh, you haven't? Wow.
No. I've seen the first Avengers, I think. I'm pretty sure I have. So I'm not really that diverse when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I prefer the comics over the visuals, So, going into the movie with very little knowledge, I was expecting it to be a movie that pumps the theme that woman can be powerful too. I was expecting it to ram it to the audience's skull. Instead, I got from what I gathered from the movie, it was like don't let other people tell you what to do. I'm guessing that's what the theme is supposed to be. Find who you are as a person. I mean, that's okay. But I think what really ruined the movie for me was its pacing. And
I heard that
Brie
the
Larson,
problem with it was
the pacing was just off. 1 minute it's very fast paced, the next minute is so slow you're trying to figure out what's going on, And Brie Larson's acting just was not good in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
For 90-95% of the movie, she has the same dull kind of expressionless face, kind of like Kristen Stewart when she was in Twilight.
Oh, yeah.
When Kristen Stewart did her own movies, she was really more expressive, and I think it was like, wow, is this the same person kind of deal? But Brie Larson, I've seen her in Kong Skull Island, and I've seen her in this movie, and she's about the same, so I'm thinking it's her. Her acting, not the script. But the only saving grace for the movie was the CGI cat and Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson is always the saving grace for any movie. Even Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
That's the saving grace of that whole fucking movie.
And the only good things I can say about the movie are Samuel Jackson was great. The CGI cat was great, The special effects were good. But overall, I feel like it just tried to be like Guardians of the Galaxy if it was an off-brand Guardians of the Galaxy with Wonder Woman mixed in, And I'm not against there being female-centered movies. Like I said, Wonder Woman is a good movie. I liked it. And I'm not saying that female shouldn't be empowering. I think that there should be equality between both genders, I think there should be a balance of harmony, and I think that we should learn to respect each other, Yeah. I'm not downplaying anyone. But I would say that if Captain Marvel was released, I want to say earlier in the timeline of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's supposed to be one of the first... So it takes place in the 1990s, so it's one of the first in the timeline. Captain America is the first, But
yeah.
I feel like if the movie itself was pushed to, let's say, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, which was like 2015, I think, or maybe around the time of around the time of Captain America: Civil War, I feel like it would have been a better movie. Or if she was in a movie before her own movie, like Black Panther was in Civil War before he had his own movie.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been better. But they're putting her so late in the timeline that it's essentially what it is just filler for Endgame, because she's going to be in Endgame.
That's true. And like the thing is,
and they even teased Endgame at the very end, where she comes to Earth, when she finally comes back to Earth.
yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, I feel like trying to introduce new heroes to the MCU at this point, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, to be honest, Captain Marvel, really, at least, to me, really hasn't been one of the more well-known heroes.
Yeah, I like her. I liked her in the comics. I'm not against the character. It's just that I feel like there's not a lot to go off on her.
Well, I mean, it's like when you come to heroes like Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, and Thor. Well, the Avengers, everyone knows them. And then when they introduced Spider-Man and Ant-Man, and those were also relatively well known. I just feel like Captain Marvel isn't as mainstream of a hero as these other Avengers are. So
with Ant-Man, I think his solo movie worked because, again, he was in Civil War, but it was just that it was a memorable movie because it was really funny. It had a lot of like depth into it, and I just think that it's rewatchable. With Captain Marvel, from my experience of the movie, it tried to be funny, but the jokes were either hit or miss because, like I said, Brie Larson's expressionless in this movie.
Yeah.
And it just felt like they were trying to rip off Guardians of the Galaxy with all of the 90s music that plays all of the references and shit like that. Like, there's one scene where when she comes crashing to Earth, she falls through a blockbuster. And then right next to the blockbuster is a Radio Shack. And that's not gonna really register with younger viewers, It's kind of like how Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord has a Walkman,
Right.
and he references all these songs from the 70s and 80s, but there it worked because that's still like, to me it wasn't forced, that's his character. He hasn't been on Earth in many years. He's been raised in space, so that's the only stuff he's gonna know. With Captain Marvel, she has no idea what Earth is, and they're trying to make the scenario like the 90s, but it just kind of felt like a diet Guardians. So speaking of Guardians, James Gunn is back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They finally rehired him.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's also doing Suicide Squad 2. So he's the first director to do both a Marvel movie and a DC movie at the same time.
Wasn't Will Smith recast for Suicide Squad 2?
Yeah, he's being replaced by what's his name? He's in I think he's being replaced by, I don't know how to say his name. Idris Elba?
Oh,
How do you say his name?
yeah.
He's being replaced by him, I believe.
Yes, Idris Elba.
Yeah, he was in Thor,
Yeah.
and he was in Avengers. He was, I forget his name. He was one of Thor's friends.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I forget the character's name.
I forget his name.
But
yeah, what were you gonna say?
oh, what I was gonna... Well, there are two things I was going to say is... first we talked about Diet Dante, and now we're talking about Diet Guardians.
Yeah.
But the other thing...
I'm gonna make the episode title like Diet... Like Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Thunder, or something like that, I don't know.
Diet Dante.
Diet Dr. Dante.
But also,
I heard Guardians. And
well,
fucking Fufusela.
Spider-Man is one of my favorite heroes when it comes to Marvel.
Mine
And
too.
I know that Homecoming gets a lot of flack because it's not.
Does it?
Well, it gets a lot of flack from the hardcore comic book fans because it doesn't really,
Go off of a story.
Yeah, it doesn't really go off of a comic story. But
neither did the Spider-Man PS4 game, and that was a good game.
yeah, I really like Homecoming just because it's different, and while the story may not necessarily be based off of the comics, I like the fact that they kind of actually have an actor who's more like Spider-Man's canon age at that time.
Even though Tom Holland's like 22 or something, playing a 16-year-old, but I'll let that pass.
Yeah, but the thing is, Tom Holland, he looks really young in comparison
Yeah.
to both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
I don't know. Andrew Garfield looked pretty young too.
Tobey Maguire.
Like with Tobey Maguire, he was hitting his 40s by the time of Spider-Man 3. So
Yeah.
Jesus, how old is Tobey
No, but
Maguire?
I just feel like Andrew Garfield has always looked like he was in his like mid-20s. But that being said, I don't know, like with all the different Spider-Man films, like reboots and that, I can't really say that there are any that I like over the other.
yeah.
I mean, I know that Amazing Spider-Man 2 got a lot of shit for it as well, mainly because...
It's a really fucking bad movie, dude. What are you talking about? Sorry.
Well, no, it's it's like pacing and like its character introduction for the second one. Which
I mean, the first movie was bearable. The second one was not. I couldn't even sit through it.
Yeah.
I had to force myself to sit through it.
Nah, but I am looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home because, like I said, I really enjoyed Homecoming, and I think that Far From Home is going to be a good movie as well.
We're going to go to our next segment called Peculiar Gazette, where we read strange articles we find on the internet. Sometimes we find them from a source called Offbeat, which is a Reddit subforum. Sometimes we find them just around the internet. We have Crimson with our first article.
So this is 9 labor and delivery nurses expecting at the same time. So in Portland, Maine, Maine Medical Center is about to have a baby boom. 9 nurses who work at the hospital's labor and delivery unit are expecting babies in the next few months. After each one of us started to say we're pregnant, I think it was a happier announcement each time, and we're all there for each other, Nurse Erin Grainer said. All but one of the nurses posted a picture showing off their baby bumps. They are due between April and July. The soon-to-be moms said it has been great to have so much support at work. It's really nice coming to work and seeing other people who are just as pregnant and watching their bellies pop and just talking about these experiences that we're going through together, said Nurse Amanda Spear. The nurses plan to be there for each other's delivery, showing support from the beginning to the end of their pregnancies. And that's it. So,
That's pretty nice of them.
yeah, I just think it's kind of interesting that so many people who work in the same place, and the fact that they are, labor and delivery nurses.
Yeah.
It's not like these are all different nurses in like the intensive care unit or the emergency room. These are nurses who are specifically trained in dealing with pregnancies.
There was this one time there was a nurse who delivered her own baby by herself because she was a labor and delivery nurse. She did it for her own pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean that.
Damn, son.
I mean, people who are capable of.
Hey, if you're
that,
trained in it,
just absolutely.
Wouldn't be
amazing.
surprised.
And
What did you say, Spur?
I mean, if you're trained in it, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
If that ever came into it.
So I'll read the second article, if it will pop up for me. So this is by Screen Crush. It's School of Rock kid arrested 4 times for stealing guitars. I don't know if you guys have seen School of Rock. It was a Jack Black movie from I think 2007.
Oh yeah, I've seen it a few times. I remember the most memorable moment in it is Miranda Cosgrove saying the word sluts. That's the part that I remember the most from that film.
Joey Gaddis Jr., the actor best known for playing young guitarist Zack Attack Moneyham in Jack Black's family comedy School of Rock, is currently facing felony charges for stealing guitars. In Florida, TMZ reports, see the video footage from one of the security cameras below. Show it. The one-time child star and current Florida man was captured by police. Was captured by police 4 times in the last 5 weeks after allegedly stealing the guitars and amplifier, according to the gossip outlet. He's reportedly facing charges of larceny and grand theft. In 2003, wow, it's been that long?
Jeez.
Ouch.
I thought it was 2007. Jesus Christ. 2003, a guitar-wielding Gaddis starred alongside leading man and Tenacious D musician Black in the Richard Linklater-directed School of Rock. In it, he played a shy pupil instilled with the rock star-like confidence by the mentor. Of late, however, the authorities say the School of Rock star was walking into music stores and asking to test out guitars, TMZ notes. He would then walk out with the instrument and sell it to a pawn shop, reportedly to fuel a confessed drug habit. What axes did he make off with? A blue Epiphone Les Paul Prophecy valued at $800, a black Fender Stratocaster $699, and a Gibson Les Paul Gold Top $1,900 have all been mentioned. So yeah.
Jeez. You know, I just like how the article says current Florida man. Like, it's it's as if the title of Florida man is like passed down, and he's like the current Florida man. Like any news article that says Florida man.
So there's always like one chosen one, one chosen one. As soon as they get arrested, like their destinies, they get arrested, and once they get arrested, they pass it down to another pupil.
Yeah.
It's like it's the Jedi Order of Florida men. So this has been another episode of ZapCast. We hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out our Facebook page where we do updates on what we're gonna be doing for future videos. This has been Commander Sparky signing out. Peace.
See ya.